And what they're not good at, they're horrible. If I am to follow Risedale and I have to repeat what the number of the budget is, I will be saying 1.146 trillion. I them chaps know they able buy. And nobody in the PPP in helping them correct correct them mistakes. Every time they make them mistake, PPP beat them like a heel, beat them like a heel. So they're hopeless, man. Uh, telling a man he's hopeless these days, so hypothetic and he hopeless is running a risk because Rodney Hodge. I was thinking about Tim May, but Rodney Hodge says the, the West Indies is done. They have nobody. They're pathetic and hopeless. And it triggered something in some sleeping giants. Some sleeping giants. None more than Guinea's own Shamar Joseph. You see the black water behind me back there? Background? See the black water there? There's the kind of black water that Shamar Joseph grew up on. You understand? Them rivers have the ability to purify themselves. But the waters be better than the one purified by the agencies of GWI. Telling you. Because when the water done with you, it's produced the Shamar Joseph is of this world. Yeah. A man could get his toe lick off, broken, and still running on the foot and destroy the mighty Australians by what? The thing come like a David and Goliath story. I'm telling you. How the man just unleash thunderbolt after thunderbolt. You understand? And I want to believe that it was divine, you know. Divine. Because Shamar himself being a Christian, going to church every Saturday and stuff like that, you know, I think God using this back. Because when you hear people like Steve who say that this test match thing was dying, and this singular performance by Shamar Joseph has the ability to bring back life into test match around the world is a story of goosebumps. The Shamar Joseph story is a story of goosebumps. And I'm happy for him. You better believe that the writers of Bollywood and Hollywood have already started scripting their next movie, the next big movie. Shamar. That was the name of the movie. Shamar, Barakara, the Barakara security guard who turn around and get every single cricket team of repetition calling him. Come and sign this contract. Shamar, get yourself an agent. Get yourself an agent. Speak to the president. You know, Shamar Joseph on an interview, and I'm going to play that interview for you guys. He would have said that the president, Dr. Irfan Muhammad Ali, was instrumental in him being what he is today. I mean, this is a fairy tale story with a lot of behind the scenes involvement. Because if you really think about how this thing happened, on face value, you will know that this thing don't happen like that. Many good youngsters come up in my day and show potential and class. And because of who they were and where they came from, they had to fade away. Now, Shamar Joseph came from one of the most remote areas in Guyana, underpopulated, and just pop out onto the scene, supposedly without any assistance from anybody, and just make it all the way to the West Indies. That is unheard of. So it had to have had behind the scenes intervention to get Shamar Joseph to where he is. And when they have the likes of Kidaki Amsterdam and them looking at a picture of Shamar Joseph and the president of Guyana, to say that that picture is Photoshop, he had to be the real Kidonki, the real Kidonki of this world. But I will play a short clip of the interview. And from the horse's mouth, it was said that Dr. Irfan Muhammad Ali has gotten him to where he is. Let me have a look at it.
Again, especially Dr. Irfan Ali. He has been, so amazing in my career. From CPL to Super 50, he has been there supporting me, reaching out to me. I would have never thought that the president of Guyana would actually, reach out to a local person. But he see ability and success moving forward, and he want to help. And he did that for me, and this is where I am today. So I want to shout out this message for him. I really appreciate everything that you do for me.
Brothers and sisters, Guyanese, viewers of this world, on CALLIN Wednesday's Point Blank, from the horse's mouth, Shamar Joseph would have just said that he never believed in his wildest dreams that the president of Guyana would have reached out to a local that would have caused him to be in such a position today, where he is now the demand of the world in terms of fast bowling. My brothers, my sisters, look at the clip for the second time and tell me if this isn't remarkable by any stretch of the imagination by the president, no other than the president of this country.
Again, especially Dr. Irfan Ali. He has been, so amazing in my career. From CPL to Super 50, he has been there supporting me, reaching out to me. I would have never thought that the president of Guyana would actually, reach out to a local person. But he see ability and success moving forward, and he want to help. And he did that for me, and this is where I am today. So I want to shout out this message for him. I really appreciate everything that you do for me.
Here we have it. 679-7846 is the number to call. Give me a call, please. Share the live. Give me a call on Point Blank Calling Wednesdays. Let us talk Guyana, Shamar Joseph, and West Indies cricket. If you're not calling in, send me a message and I will discuss your point. Let me see if I can find another picture. I'm looking for a picture because you know, these naysayers who like to bash. Hmm. 679-7846. Give me a call. Let's discuss the rise of Shamar Joseph, the presidential intervention that get him to where he is, and the doubting Thomases of this world, such as the Kidonki Amsterdam of Buxton. It's David Hines and Granger. It's them get Shamar Joseph where he is. Let Kidonki know though. Hello, good night.
Good night, Mr. Player. How are you?
Not too bad. Good night. You're on Calling Wednesdays Point Blank. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, no problem, my brother. I'm looking at your program here. The work that you're doing is spectacular and highlighting Shamar's, his achievement and his break into the world and bringing back the glory of Test cricket back to the front. It's amazing. I would like to say this was like somewhat of a divine intervention. His entire history coming to where he is today. But I must give kudos to the government because without the initiative of the Ministry of Sports and the government of Guyana to bring Curtin Ambrose to Guyana to do some coaching clinics, where for the first time he identified Shamar Joseph during one of those practice sessions. And that went dormant for some time until he came back and he went to the bowling nets. So the identification was an initiative. Without something like that, for the ministry putting the effort into that, that would never be possible. He probably would have gotten lost into the mix and probably settled for county cricket. But that identification and then pushing him to the next level and the interest that the president of a country identified him, invited him to his home. That's testimony to the humbleness of Dr. Ali.
Yes, yes.
Took this guy in, coddled him, gave him the support, and he always, Dr. Ali is going to continue. And I said this and I made a post. There's so many more Shamars that will be created in Guyana because of the opportunities created by Dr. Irfan Ali.
Yes,
And
yes.
his humbleness. Tonight I watched him in Victoria, in Ansgrove, sitting and chatting with the people in the dark. That was that has never been seen in Guyana. And he's not afraid. He goes there, and I think the people are getting to understand what his mission and his vision is for Guyana. And there's more positivity to come, more successes in the country. People need to put aside all of historical, biasness, and face the facts and be factual and take the opportunities. And I think Dr. Ali is making this possible for Guyana. So it's a combination of many things. It's Shamar's skill being identified, being exposed, and being given the push. That's what governments should be doing.
Opportunities.
The accolades, and I'm certain that as sometimes you say that you can make this stuff up, and for Shamar to come out, and I think that came from deep within his heart to acknowledge and identify and give kudos to the president. That was heartfelt, and because of his story, his beginnings, and as you rightly said, this is a Hollywood or a Bollywood movie in the making, coming from a small village of the country, and not knowing, then I learned also that he came from the background of the Maroon blood, so he had it in there. This is history which was hidden in the jungles of Guyana, coming now to light on the stage of in Australia at the what they call it, Gaba or whatever that is, that ground. This is a historical mission. I wish this young man all the best and let him continue to stay focused. Don't run for the money. You're too young to do that right now. Establish yourself. 2 days after making that record, he was on the charts already, worth over 3 million US dollars. The Pakistani team grabbed him, but there's going to be more successes to this young man. All he needs to do is stay humble, continue to be disciplined, and give his heart. He got the opportunity and he's taking advantage of it. So, as a Guyanese, I'm so proud of this young man. And thank you so much for highlighting him and bringing him to the fore tonight. Really appreciate it.
Well, caller, thank you very much for your input. And yes, we as Guyanese, we will do our best to keep Shamar on the right track. And with the government and president of Guyana behind him, it is no doubt that Shamar will continue to grow and expand as his career blossom, and to be worth 3 million US dollars 2 days after your what you would call your right your to be worth that amount of money. um I can imagine I can imagine what will happen as we go deeper into his career. But again, it's all divine, and you said just now it's a part of the maroon blood. So we can only expect great things because it had to be something of that nature, that warrior type nature. Because Shamar Joseph having his foot crushed by such a Mitchell Starch Yorker, and a day later to ignore the pain, I guess there is where the real story lies. To have him being crushed like that and ignore the pain and deliver the way he did, nothing there. I don't believe that there will be a second performance of this type of nature. But I know he will get stronger and he will grow from strength to strength. But I don't believe that we will see this type of performance where he have a serious injury and come back to do what he did in such remarkable fashion. It just had to be a part of this story because with
I would just like to add, just thinking through his whole, of his background and his ancestry. This is a clear demonstration of the blood, sweat, and tears that our African brothers and their ancestors paid for this country. It's still within us. It's just we have to let it out, let it go, and let it flow. And this is a great reminder. It is a story. It is another rebellion for this time from what's his village called?
Barakara.
Yeah, this is the Barakara Revolution, I would term it, right? The Barakara Revolution. Well, before I go, I just want to give kudos also to our Minister Charles for his initiative to improve all the sporting facilities and grounds throughout the country. And as I expect more Shamars to come out very soon. Look at our performance in the past 2 to 3 years at the international stage, where we won so many more medals in a short period of time. Again, look out for more Shamars. Thank you.
Good night and stay blessed. You know, when Carlo mentioned just now, um, Minister Charles Ramson, Minister of Culture, Youth, and Sports in Guyana. When he mentioned Minister just now, um, I remembered when the minister became the Minister of Culture, Youth, and Sports. Many people believe to themselves that because the minister had studied oil and gas at Aberdeen University, that he was more suited for the oil and gas ministry. I don't believe that we could have found a better sports minister in Guyana. And I'm dating this back for as far back as we can go. The sports ministry has never seen such visionary, never seen such visionary before. And the minister is doing a overly fantastic job without being biased or prejudiced to any of the communities. He has been working tirelessly, communities after communities, weeks after weeks, month after month, year after year. And to the criticism, unwarranted criticism by the likes of Norton and we know the naysayers. But you know what is remarkable is that how these ministers are able to keep themselves away from scandals. I mean, one would have suffered the fate of a huge scandal in Guyana. Thankfully, it was just a scandal. But I admire the fact that there's so many young men and women that are placed in different ministries as ministers of this government, and they are able to keep themselves away from scandal. And you must give kudos to the leader of the pack, the leader of the pack, no other than the General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party, Dr. Barjagdio, who is constantly steering these young ministers to do well, to do well. I can remember President, former President Barjagdio at a campaign rally when he said that he is going to work alongside the president to make him the best president ever. We are seeing evidence of that. And you know why? You know why the vice president made that statement and is actually delivering. Don't believe the president Ali is doing this all by himself. The amount of advisors and stewardship and mentoring by the vice president is, you like I just said just now, the Shamar Joseph story, the behind the scenes work. It's unbelievable. It's just the same like the president. He's the face. He's taking the glory, but the behind the scenes story, if Shamar Joseph, they shut him out and didn't mention about the assistance of the president, we would have never know. We would have never know. But there is always something behind that creates the success that don't carries the accolade. Six seven nine 7846. Give me a call on Point Blank Calling Wednesdays. I'm looking for this picture. And if I can find this picture, if I can only find this picture, I will go in a direction like never before. Um, but you know, when you got thousands and thousands of pictures on your phone and you don't remember the the, the date of the picture that you're going after, it's very difficult sometimes to just go into the phone and find the picture that you really want to put up. 679-7846. Give me a call. Let's discuss Shamar Joseph, acceleration to the West Indies, the intervention of the president of Guyana, and how the sports ministry of Guyana under the stewardship of Minister Charles Ramson has been delivering for this nation. And as he delivered for this nation, the delivery is felt all across the Caribbean, because without Shamar Joseph and the rest of the West Indies team that are Guyanese, the Caribbean side down under would have had a terrible story today. Today, we are witnessing not anything of terror, but if it's terror on the other side. You make joke, Shamar Joseph have beaten the Australians into subjection, where the entire Australia, all the cricketers, past and present, singing the praises of Shamar Joseph. I mean, you in Australia, boy, one of the most, a country that you can't go and beat and expect to be glorified. They take everything personal when it comes to the cricket. You beating them in Australia. But the story will continue, because one of these days, the West Indies is going to be touring England. And there will be a story at Lords like none other. Because let me tell you, anywhere the Shamar Joseph tours after now, for one, there will be record-breaking gate sales. Record-breaking. There is no ground that Shamar Joseph will turn up that will be empty. None. Every time you scroll on Facebook is a Shamar Joseph story. Every time, every page you turn, Shamar Joseph, Shamar Joseph. Like if one cricketer went down to Australia. One cricketer, Shamar Joseph. I ain't grudge the boy. I have no envy. But everything you look at is Shamar Joseph. The boy make me cry so much time I could afford to talk about it. Nobody really don't make I cry. This guy made me cry so much. 679-7846. Give us a call. Point blank. Calling Wednesdays. Don't be afraid. Dial up. It must be something you can say about Shamar. 679-7846 is the number. The Barbicians, men, women, and children from Region 6, your guys are on the map today. Barakara, the 2-hour long journey up the Kanji River. You see how things are? All the way back to the Maroon Bloods. Hmm. You see how story go? The man get his toe pong in, boss, for all to see on national TV. The man in the hotel decided, oh no, we ain't going to know him going down there. But the warrior in the body, the warrior, the Maroon Warriors. I can't left my troops out there. My troops need me. My troops need me. Maybe I pull on the boots on that toe. Unbelievable. Remarkable. Something that's totally unheard of. Suck up the pain of injury to deliver like no other. Like no other. I mean, I've watched cricket in the West Indies for a long, long time. I've watched cricket, being around cricket for a long time. And I cannot remember the story outside of Malcolm Marshall batting with one hand from a broken finger. Can't remember a story that mimics the one of Shamar Joseph. Is special. Truly remarkable and special. Six seven nine 7846. The number to call. In the meantime, our national budget, I think the consideration of the estimates are still ongoing. And by Friday, the budget should be passed. And once the budget passes, at our disposal, 1.146 trillion Guyana dollars to be spent over the next fiscal year. New bridges, new roads, new hospitals, health centers, new police station, a whole lot of new, a whole lot of new. The rapid transformation of Guyana is ongoing. Who else? Who else but the People's Progressive Party Civic to transform this nation. Who else? I mean, no matter, no matter how the naysayers try to come up with all manner of things to criticize and condemn the government, they can't. The condemnation got start with Granger and Trotman. How they give away the national patrimony in the case of oil, accepting a 2% royalty from ExxonMobil. And when they get out of power, they're talking about renegotiating. Renegotiating the mess that they would have created once set up this government to breach a contract and put us in further jeopardy. Because you know what would happen? This is what would happen. ExxonMobil will sue Guyana like never before. Like a country never been sued. Six 7846. The number to call tonight. Calling Wednesdays on Point Blank. The next time I take a picture, I saving it. I going through these pictures and can't find this picture to the life in me. But trying all kind of thing. Anyhow, with the kind of investment that is slated under the Ministry of Sports, Youth and Culture, I will take the liberty to say here tonight that more Shamar Joseph would be found. And not only